exciting thing to me about tech in Africa is it's growing, and there are very many people who seem to be learning. We have seen so many skilled developers coming up, getting opportunities here and there, and actually influencing the technology scene in Africa. So that's exciting to see how far it can go. I think Africa is the next frontier. If anything, if that isn't true, it should happen today. But I believe it is the next frontier where developers or talent will come from. We have a young population, we have vibrant people, we have people who are ready to learn and eager. But I think above all, we have smart people in Africa. Tech in Africa, quite honestly, so many things, if not everything. When you look at Africa, we have very many young people in Africa. Some countries boast of having the youngest population in the world. And on top of that, we have very many people who are getting educated. And in that, many of them taking up careers in technology because it's opening up to them. And very many of them are smart and intelligent. I've interacted with very many smart people who are enthusiastic, who are passionate about technology, who really want to cause an impact in their communities. And I've seen them use tools in tech to do this. So it's really exciting. I think the boundaries are, if anything, non-existent for very many young people in Africa. And there's just so much more, and I'm excited. I really want to see what people are going to do. As of today, Africa should be the next best destination for tech talent. If not, it should be the hot cake. I have spoken to very many people who have been approached by recruiters in Europe, America, to work for Silicon Valley companies, to work for high growth startups in Europe. I know I have very many personal close friends who are in Berlin, in Sweden, London, working for Facebook, Google, you name it. So if anything, I think our Africa is we're getting known. People are beginning to recognize that there is talent in Africa, so it's very inspiring. If you're in Africa and you're aspiring to be a developer, I think the key thing I would say is just keep learning. Keep learning, and you can only do that if you're involved in communities, if you are already taking part in very many simple things, open source projects. And the talk I mentioned, I think the easiest way for a developer or someone who's aspiring to be one to actually get really good skills and fast is if they actually participate in open source development, because they're exposed to so much already, and they have so many mentors who are willing to share their knowledge with people who are curious. And there's really so much. It's much easier for someone to start today than it was my time years ago. Much easier. And I love Python. I remember in 2019, I was challenged by a talk. I think it was a TED talk. It wasn't actually a TED, it was a conference. By that time, the PyDev conference was a video I watched. And the contributor, rather the speaker, then said that we don't have contributors. We're too few. And that challenged me, and I was like, I like the language, so why can't I do it? Of course, yes, there's the difficulties. General Python, as you know, is not really Python. There's an underlying language in it, so there are some barriers to entry. But what really inspired me was I got a lot of help. I got a lot of help from the community itself. They directed me to where I could ask questions on how to get set up. And they pointed out areas in the documentation where, hey, if you feel you're stuck, you can check out this blog, but feel free to send me an email. I remember, what's his name, the founder of Python, what's his name? He communicated to everyone at that time who joined. I think all the new members who joined that year to contribute sent an email, and it was really an encouraging email to everyone. And I was like, wow, I mean, the guy who started the whole Python project, he is really communicating to us. I mean, how much more included, how much more could he make us feel like we are part of something big? Yeah, and that's really well. Easy answer: we're likable. I don't think I have friends who are Americans or live in Europe, wherever, but they say they find it easy to relate with Africans, people from Africa. And I think it's true because generally we are likable, we are fun, we have a different culture. People are interested in knowing about us, and it adds a different perspective in any team where you have a team of Americans who are just used to their culture. Then you come, you're an African is telling, oh, I walked in the rain, or the roads weren't there, or I grew up in the village. And yeah, quite frankly, I remember where one of the villages, let's say my mom's place, we would see monkeys come around, we would see sometimes even some other wild animals, which nowadays I preserve of a zoo maybe or a game park. So sometimes when someone comes with that conversation in any workspace, it's a different perspective, it's exciting, it's new, but we are likable, we are smart, we're intelligent, and that's the thing that really I think sells us. So I think it's only going to get better. People are going to discover more of that, who we are, because I think in the past, people knew Africa as a dark continent, maybe poverty or hunger, things like that. But when they see who we are right now, what we're capable of doing, I think it really shocks some people, and it's a very good thing. So people begin to see that it's possible to really work with people from Africa. They're likable, and they easily integrate the different teams that they are. So it's only going to get better. I don't know where to start from. Let me start with how I felt like, am I really worthy of being approached to be a speaker at such an event? It was humbling to come here, to meet the likes of Stephen. And we've met a couple of times, thrown jabs at each other, maybe. It's exciting. Yeah, but it's also, what really also inspired me was seeing the number of people that turned up. I'll be honest, this is the first public event I've come to since lockdown 2020, so it's the first. And the turn-up was really impressive. I feel the audience was really, I don't know, they were excited also. They were waiting to hear what we had to say. They welcomed it, and I think the audience was also great. They are very many curious people. People wanted to learn, people wanted to hear, people want to know. The people in there, if anything, I think are very ready to go the next level, very willing. So that's the sense I got. Definitely, they should look at Tunga. Because I think what Tunga does is amazing. It's amazing, like getting talent and actually even shaping them and guiding them through the whole process to the point until when they're actually blessed with a company. That's great work. People should definitely do that. And I think they're actually more excited to hear from Tunga than they were from me. When we started trying to reach out, very few people, it was hard to say that this is the impact we'll see. But 10 years down the road, you just get surprised by what you see people are able to accomplish and do. So the impact of such events in the community, I think, are immeasurable. You can't really measure them. They're just too big and too diverse. I think you'll find some of the next people who will be able to form the next unicorn companies or startups will probably be in such events. You can never know, but it's very possible. Such events build the momentum that we need to really change the story for Africa. It's events like this that get people to see that, we can actually do things. When Stephen talked about his experiences, his growth, everything he was doing, I felt like I was actually part of the people who were just attending. I was inspired. So I don't think anyone who was there wasn't inspired by a story like that. So events like this just keep on building the momentum. They will build the numbers in this community. It will just keep growing. I expect it to go really far. This is good. I don't know if we can have more of these. We need more. I think we just need more. We desperately need more.